After 17 years living in Asia and enough trips to Thailand to fill a passport, I learned 3 things: what tourists do wrong, what locals do right, and how to find the real Thailand. From dodging tourist traps to staying safe and saving money, consider this your cheat sheet to the Thailand you actually came to see. From Bangkok to Chiang Mai to the islands, just pure travel intelligence. From someone who's made all the mistakes, so you don't have to.
Hey, I'm Don, and I make videos about the world's coolest places to stay, along with travel guides to the world's most exotic destinations. Most international travelers arrive through Bangkok's main airport that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. You have a few options for getting from the airport into Bangkok. The cheapest and fastest is the airport rail link that saves you from Bangkok's legendary traffic. If you're arriving during the day, I advise skipping the airport taxis and taking the city line for about a 45 baht ride to downtown. That's a little over $1. But many international flights arrive at night. If that's you and you can afford it, many hotels offer an airport pickup for 20 to 30 USD. After 15 hours in the air, trust me, it's worth it, especially if you have a bunch of bags. At night, traffic won't be an issue, so this will be the fastest and most convenient way to get to your hotel. If you're flying domestically, there's a bunch of airline options. I flew one way from Bangkok to Phuket for about 50 USD on Bangkok Airways. Often your best bet for domestic flights, and they don't just fly to Bangkok. I was also happy with my domestic flights on AirAsia and Vietjet. All are low price, offer reliable service and clean, modern 737s and A320s. One quick heads up. Bangkok actually has 2 major airports. Most international and some domestic flights use BKK, but many domestic flights are into the older DMK airport. Double check which airport your domestic flight departs from. Both are about the same distance from the city center. Domestic airports like Phuket, Koh Samui, and Chiang Mai all have places to grab food and drinks. For domestic flights, arrive 2 hours and no less than 90 minutes before your flight. In most cases, I got through the airport quickly, but in Koh Samui, there was some chaos, so I was glad to get there early. But you should know that Thailand's been planning for a while now to roll out a free electronic travel authorization system, basically pre-registration for travelers from some countries. It's been delayed multiple times and may not apply to everyone, but if it is introduced, you'll need to complete it before you fly. It's a good idea to double check before you travel. Thailand offers 60 days of visa-free entry to citizens of 93 countries. No paperwork, no fees, just show up with your passport that's valid for at least 6 months, and you're good to go. Taxis are easy to find in the cities, and if you do take one, make sure they turn on the meter or agree on a price up front. In Bangkok, the drivers were all professional and courteous, but with varying degrees of English. But just show them where you want to go on Google Maps and you should be fine. But outside Bangkok, it can be different. So taxis in Koh Samui are a little bit different than Bangkok. In Bangkok, you get a meter. Here, it's all negotiated. There's let's say an organization who is in charge of taxis here, so no meter. And then there's Grab, which is kind of like their version of Uber. A 10-minute ride in Bangkok cost me about $2 to $3, and it's often easier than flagging down taxis. Grab also delivers food and packages. As a general rule, Grab is cheaper than taxis, but when I arrived in Phuket, my first hotel was an hour and 20 minutes north. In that case, a taxi was better. Most domestic airports have counters like this after baggage claim, with set rates where you prepay for your taxi, and I found the prepaid rates to be pretty reasonable. In terms of renting a car, all the majors do business in Thailand, but I didn't rent one, and here's why. Thai traffic is an art form that could take years to master. Plus, for the price of a rental car for one day, you might be able to take a grab everywhere for a week. Unless you're planning serious road trips, just let someone else deal with the chaos. Tuk-tuks are a fun way to get around, and can you really come to Thailand and not at least try it? But I found that grabs and taxis are almost always cheaper. Many tuk-tuk drivers charge special foreigner rates, if you know what I mean. But when I was in Bangkok searching for the city's best hotels, I negotiated directly with a tuk-tuk driver for a day rate that turned out to be a great deal.
I got this tuk-tuk for like 5 hours for maybe about $40 US.
Always negotiate the price before you get in, or else you really will be taken for a ride. You'll see these shared pickup trucks with bench seats in the back. They're a cross between a taxi and a minibus and cost under $1. Just flag one down and tell the driver where you're headed. Most drivers speak enough English to get by. If it's on their route, they'll nod and let you in. Ring the bell to get off. Great for short trips and riding like a local. If you're island hopping, especially around Phuket, Krabi, or Koh Samui, you'll want to understand your speedboat options. I did Phuket to Yao Noi, then Yao Noi to Koh Lanta, and the boats are fast, efficient, and reasonably priced. There are a few private ferry companies, and most routes run multiple times a day during high season, less in low season. Tickets usually cost 300 to 800 baht depending on distance. That's about 10 to 25 USD. And here's a pro tip. Find the best route and book your tickets online using directferries.com. We found it to be reliable and better than trying to book through our clueless hotel concierge. But let me warn you, this is not luxury travel. The best time to visit is November to March when it's just hot instead of hot as Avoid Chinese New Year if you can, including the week before and after. Hotel prices skyrocket. The same goes for Christmas and New Year's. The rainy season runs from May to October, but don't let that scare you off completely. The rain is usually intense but short, and you'll have the country to yourself. Plus, everything's half price. And don't forget to grab your free 7, 10, and 14-day Thailand itineraries. Where to go, what to do, and where to stay. Swank style. Thai markets are where shopping becomes a sport. Whether it's Bangkok's weekend market or the night markets in Chiang Mai, come prepared to negotiate. Here's how it works. They quote you a price, you counter with about half, and eventually you'll meet somewhere in the middle. The key is to stay friendly and walk away if the price isn't right. They'll often chase you down with a better offer. But don't be a dick. Don't be that tourist who haggles over 20 baht. It's like 60 cents. These folks are trying to make a living, and you're probably getting a great deal anyway. I didn't expect to buy anything in Thailand, and that was a stupid expectation. In my What to Do in Bangkok video, I get into this, but suffice to say, if you're in the market for low-cost clothes, indie fashion, tailored clothes, art, antiques, or maybe jewelry, things in Thailand are very affordable. You might want to put an empty duffel bag in your suitcase. I'm not a doctor, so talk to yours before you go, but here's what mine recommended. Make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines and consider Hep A and typhoid. Anti-malarial pills might be recommended depending on where you're going, though most tourist areas are low risk. The golden rule in Thailand, don't drink the tap water, even in nice hotels. Always stick to bottled water. As for ice, most hotels and tourist restaurants use factory-made filtered ice, so it's generally safe. But if you're unsure, ask. I had no problems with ice. Bring mosquito repellent with DEET. Dengue fever is more common than malaria in most areas. Thai pharmacies are everywhere and well-stocked. Most pharmacists speak English. And if you're going to get sick in a foreign country, Thailand's not a bad choice. It's a major hub for medical tourism with some excellent hospitals, especially in Bangkok and Phuket. Some look more like 5-star hotels, Many have international accreditation and English-speaking doctors. Plus, the costs are a fraction of what you might pay at home. No trip to Thailand's complete without a massage, or maybe 3. But Thai massage may not be what you think. It's more like assisted yoga. Lots of bending, stretching, even walking on your back. It's not always relaxing, but it's meant to be healing. If you want something relaxing, most places also offer oil massages, which are more in line with what most tourists expect. You'll find massages everywhere, from luxe hotel spas to simple beach huts, and the prices? An hour-long massage usually runs $10 to $20, assuming you do it outside your resort. Let's talk about something that surprises a lot of visitors. Cannabis is actually legal in Thailand as of 2022, as long as you're over 20 years old. But don't smoke in public. That's still illegal and can get you fined. Keep it private, keep it discreet, and always buy from legit dispensaries, not street dealers. With that said, Thailand has some of the world's strictest penalties for other drugs. We're talking years in prison for possession of anything harder than cannabis. If you're confused about this, watch Midnight Express. Also, there are certain days throughout the year when alcohol sales are banned, usually on religious holidays like Buddha Day. Hotels might not empty their minibars, but don't expect to walk into a 7-Eleven and buy a beer. Thai food is legendary for good reason, but it can be overwhelming for first-timers if you're not into spice. If so, just tell your server. But I'm married to an Indonesian and lived in Asia for 17 years, so I had the opposite problem with most hotels turning down the spice levels too much. So if you like it spicy, ask for it like a local. Thais also love their sugar. I got to the point where I had to ask at each meal to make sure that no sugar was added to my food. Street food is where the real magic happens, but use common sense. Look for places where locals are eating, where the food is being cooked fresh, and where there's a high turnover. If you see a cart sitting with food under heat lamps for hours, maybe skip it. Vegetarians will not starve here, though double check because fish sauce does sneak into just about everything. And yes, you can find Western food everywhere, but you're missing the point if that's all you eat. Thailand is a predominantly Buddhist country, and temples are sacred spaces. Dress respectfully. Covered shoulders and knees are expected, especially for women. For men, longer shorts are okay, but tank tops and anything too revealing should be avoided. Always remove your shoes before entering, and never point your feet at a Buddha statue, though they're allowed to point their feet at you. Thailand is generally very safe for tourists, but like anywhere, common sense goes a long way. The biggest risks are usually self-inflicted: too much to drink, riding motorcycles without helmets, or falling for obvious scams. Speaking of scams, be wary of anyone approaching you with unsolicited help or amazing deals. Don't let a stranger lead you into a shop.
One of the things about Bangkok, and this is especially true of the Royal Palace, you have to be really careful of people coming up and trying to sell you a special tour. I came here once like 15 years ago and someone was like, oh, the Grand Palace is closed, but I can get you in, and they just try to scam you.
You know the Grand Palace, the ceremony today, the special day.
It's closed, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, time for the speed round. Thailand uses 220-volt electricity with these kinds of plugs, but most hotels have US-type plugs. The currency is the Thai baht, roughly 33 baht to $1. Most people in tourism speak English, especially younger Thais. Credit cards work almost everywhere, but carry cash for cabs, street food, some entry tickets, and markets. Tipping isn't expected, but rounding up is appreciated, and maybe 10% at upscale restaurants. ATMs are everywhere and give decent exchange rates. Emergency numbers are 191 for police, 1669 for medical emergencies, and 1584 for the tourist police. The tourist police speak English and can be really helpful. Call your bank before traveling to avoid card blocks. Bring a refillable water bottle to reduce plastic waste, and download translation apps like Google Translate that works offline as long as you download the language you want translated before you go offline. I lived in Asia for almost 20 years, and coming back on this trip was a reminder of why I love Thailand. Sure, it's a beautiful country and the food's awesome, but it's how genuinely welcoming the people are that makes Thailand so special. One of my all-time favorite countries. And now for my number one Thailand tip. Where you choose to stay is the foundation for a great vacation. So if you love great design and unique places to stay, I've done more than anyone I know of to uncover Thailand's most incredible hotels and resorts. From affordable hidden gems to this country's over-the-top luxury, I've covered every corner of Thailand and distilled the best into my list of hand-picked favorites that might just blow you away. Check it out here. Thanks for watching, and see us in the next video.